Yo! Video games.
We're back. We saw a movie recently. We're actually super back because the last hour and 45 minutes we've been talking about this movie, and our video extract died on us. So this is going to be the short version. So, Simmons, do you?
Hey! Me first. Okay, we'll go.
No. Do you?
Do you?
Yes or no?
Yes or no?
Yes.
Steve, do you?
Yeah!
Good. You're married. Kiss. Woo!
Let's go. Let's go.
Simmons, please. If anyone got my Spaceballs reference. So we saw Black Panther, and huge Marvel movie. Probably one of the biggest pre-sold ones ever, from what I understand. We had to see it in a theater that we're not used to, and it was fine. So quick impressions. Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, really liked it. I loved what they did with start off Michael B. Jordan's character, the conflict they established for that character, his motivations. Like I felt extremely conflicted throughout the whole movie. I didn't feel like he was even though he's presented as the villain, I was like, I don't necessarily see him as the bad guy in this film. He comes from good intentions.
He's a good bad guy.
Good bad guy for a Marvel film.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the conflict in the movie in general about like tradition versus doing the right thing with the Wakandan civilization. Seeing like T'Challa, seeing the general, that badass general character, them struggle to deal with like this is what tradition dictates in the film, and should I uphold tradition? But at the same time, that's not necessarily the right thing to do. Yeah. Like it's allowing this usurper to come in and cause chaos if I uphold tradition. And I liked these character arcs that played off these really good conflicts.
That's one thing I also really dug about the movie is the characters. Steven?
Definitely the character development on each person in the movie was fantastic. Overall, a very good, relatable movie. Even if you don't know anything about the characters, you don't need to know everything.
You don't even need to see Civil War.
It's one of those movies where
they cover it.
If you don't know anything about it, you will still be enticed and entertained throughout the entire thing. And I think that's what makes a really good movie, is the fact that you can be completely unaware and you don't have to be a comic book nerd in order to enjoy this film. So,
man.
yeah, it's really fucking... It really knocked the ball out of the park with this one. I think it's really good.
Mike said it all. It was perfect. I mean, like, not a perfect film, but what he said was perfect, man. Like, the bad guys in this movie were so... God, like, I can't go into spoilers and stuff like that.
It's the one thing that is a big highlight.
So phenomenal, man. I watched this movie and I'm like, I don't know he was a bad guy. I could see he's bad things, but God damn it, man. It was...
When you could see things through the bad guy's perspective and somewhat relate with them, that's a very effective bad guy.
You know, we did the review before, but Michael B. Jordan knocked it out of the goddamn park. There was so much charisma, so much swag to him. I have a man crush.
I almost liked him more than T'Challa. Like some points, like I feel like his character at the T'Challa is like throughout a lot of this movie, like sort of a cookie cutter. He's a very cookie cutter. Yeah. Like I got to do the right thing. He does have relatable aspects, which makes him a good guy. But there were certain aspects of like Michael B. Jordan's character that really resonate kind of heavily. Mm-hmm. So it's a really good bad guy. Simmons?
Yeah, this was a movie I was actually really looking forward to when they announced whatever fucking phase we're in now. And it didn't disappoint. It didn't disappoint. I was actually very happy with it. This is not a, as you used, cookie cutter Marvel movie.
No,
this is not a new version of Iron Man. This is a actual new thing with really great world building. Which I actually really liked a lot about it.
We talked about... This seems very focused because we talked about a lot of these things. Extreme detail because we all have a lot of the varying emotions about parts of the movie because we all really liked it. But the world building, good, because we're in like Wakanda is a bubble, literally, inside the Marvel Universe cinematics. So we don't have to worry about the other stuff. Yes. We just have this nice world that they get to build for themselves.
They did a good job establishing the history and culture within this, and how a society, whole city, I mean, it's not really that spoiler to say, hey, Wakanda's a secret city. Like, how this whole thing is.
They showed it in Civil War.
Yeah, it has all this advanced technology and how. Someone like a completely different area of the world, like develop technology and think it in, and how they all just sort of relate and work. And how I loved that aspect of it. It felt felt thought out. It felt really well done.
Speaking of your history nods and shit like that, I really dug how Smeagol directly referred to Wakanda as the El Dorado. They had it all wrong.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of fucking awesome.
That
Like we're
was
bringing
cool.
back like Indiana Jones, Uncharted, like classic like adventure feels. Explorers looked for it, but they were in the wrong spot the whole time. Like that's fucking kind of awesome.
And he, what was it? The Back to the Future reference too.
Yeah.
Throwing that out.
But like he was a fucking amazing villain. I loved him. I love Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
I loved how they were very opposite types of characters, but still very memorable in their roles. It was a really good example of how to properly use, when you hire Andy Serkis to be a villain in your film franchise, how you make him memorable, because I do believe he is a talented actor. So,
and
without being smoked with men.
And I think too, Michael,
shade aside,
his character is a jobber villain. He doesn't have like a deep background. You don't know why, but he's so charismatic and so
he's a bad guy that loves being a fucking
he loves being
guy.
a bad guy, right? But then you have Michael B. Jordan, and then you have like his roots and everything that leads him to be why he is. But it's so great. There's two, like I said, two opposites, and man, he's just like I just like being a dickhead.
I agree. I agree with both of you guys.
Yeah.
Like, Andy Serkis and Michael B. Jordan in specific. I always forget their character names, which is funny.
Yeah.
But their characters specifically in this movie are both bad guys. One side is an extremely extreme bad guy, like pushed to the extreme, is bad for the sake of being bad and is bad and he loves it. Which I love those kind of bad guys. I think when it's done well, it's actually really entertaining, and this one is really entertaining. And then you have the opposite end, which is an extremely relatable bad guy with a thought-provoking backstory that puts him in a situation where you're like, man, I wonder if I was in that situation, if I would do things any different. So there's clearly something that this movie resolves that Marvel movies have a big problem with, and it's its villains, and its villains are great. But for me personally, I think the villains are great. My favorite aspect of Black Panther, and we discussed ad nauseum before, this movie gives me two of my favorite characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And they're both female characters, and I like them more than like the main female character they have going on right now, which is like Black Widow. Yeah. Dude, the general lady is fucking awesome in this movie.
The general is so wonderful.
Yeah.
I would watch a whole
heck yeah.
movie.
And there's going to be a Black Widow movie.
Her attitude, her story arc, and her actual fight. Yeah, her actual fighting scenes.
The scenes they give the general girl are just. And even the gags, like with her hair and all that, the part that she shot.
Well, I mean, not yet.
Not spoilers yet.
It was in the trailer. It was in the trailer. It was in the trailer. It was in one of the trailers.
I didn't see that in the trailer. What the fuck?
She's got so many good moments, and I feel like she was giving him better moments than like Black Panther.
If there was like an idea or something on the docket for, hey, let's make a Black Widow movie. Fuck that.
Give me a movie about the general and her badass girls.
Make a movie about the general from Wakanda. I can't pronounce her name correctly.
Where they almost went toe to toe, and like I think it was in Civil War, where he was walking.
She's definitely back.
Yeah. She's back.
No, but like in the Civil War, like her and Black Widow meet. There was like them, like man. Well, now you see how much of a badass. Like,
I was thinking of Infinity War.
She would mess up Black Widow.
I think in Infinity War you clearly see her character.
No, but in Civil War they step up. They go kind of toe to toe.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
that's back when she didn't really have a character.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, but they didn't know. You didn't even know.
And the other character is T'Challa's sister.
She was like sexy and mysterious.
And she. No, T'Challa's sister was not sexy and mysterious.
No. Like in the Civil War.
I'm covering your ass because this was this girl, this little teenage girl, fucking killed it. And, oh my god, like so she plays the needy, nerdy science girl that is throughout like all these movies that I don't think is handled very well, and she fucking kills it. Like she is the comic relief. She is the family relatable aspect to T'Challa,
which is a good comic. It's hard to do comic relief because most of the time it seems forced.
It's all been the same.
It always
feels very genuine.
Yeah, and it feels like she's actually a sister.
Right. Yeah.
The humans, the people.
Usually they're just like, we need to sell toys of something. We need a funny donkey.
Insert Jar Jar Binks.
Like the key to everything.
Yeah, and I think when they utilize her as a character, they said, you know what, just go with it and see what you can come up with.
The director
like I said,
and the actress,
they
just really brought it.
It's very rare.
At first, I hated her because I thought it was a premonition of things to come.
Yeah,
but it was not. It was actually no. This is not the movie. This is her character.
Yeah.
She is a young, internet savvy. young woman.
But not done in a frustrating or annoying kind of way. Oh God, please, camera. Large attack!
Oh no!
We're
all right,
we gotta make it quick.
We gotta make it fast because it will.
But yeah, I agree with you, Simmons. Like there was a part where you could definitely be worried that she's playing that the modern teenager.
It's not like her that I'm worried about. I'm like, oh God, is this going to be the movie? And it's not.
It's not.
Yeah. It's her, which makes
and what's
sense,
funny is
which
that
is good.
Well, when they first introduced her, she seemed like a character that was just gonna be there. I didn't think she was gonna have such an intricate part. In the entire story.
She is like, and not only is she like the teenager, the nerdy girl, technically the the person that's responsible for a lot of the comedy in the movie.
She's like
the family connection. She's also responsible for like the science and technology.
She's kind of like the personal Q or M.
That's what I thought the reference was for the Hollywood thing at first. I thought it was a James Bond reference, which is going to be like the Hollywood tech guy. I was like,
that's pretty early in the movie, so not really
yeah.
any too worries about spoiler there. But yeah, there's a character who serves as sort of like the Q or the M or whatever they call.
Right.
Bond, and it's very different, from how James Bond's person, because he always has someone like John Cleese or someone like that. So she's like a completely different type of technology savvy person. So she's really cool, and like you said, like a great character. Brings the movie up a notch.
The actress does a great job too.
She does a great job. So yeah,
one of the best things about it is that these characters, when they relate as like a family together, they feel like real people.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that was nice about Guardians, like Guardians of the Galaxy, is that they give the characters enough humor and like almost a little bit too much in some situations in other movies. And this movie, I think, is just enough.
Man, they hit the humor.
It's very difficult to get all these characters and give them enough screen time to where they actually can make them relatable to the audience.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to do this in Infinity War when there's so many freaking characters.
Infinity War.
So,
they're not introducing anybody new in Infinity War.
Right.
Infinity War is going to be, here's the people you know exactly who they are, where they've been, what their personality is. We're not introducing shit.
Yeah.
They're just going to fight.
Yeah. I hope they do it well. I hope they give them enough screen time because there's so many characters.
That movie, who's directing that movie?
The Winter Soldier brothers.
Oh, okay. Then it has a chance of being good.
One of my favorite things about this movie, everyone knocks it out of the park. There's no weak link in this movie. Everyone is really strong.
Like bad actor.
There's no character specifically that brings it down.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of anything.
Yeah, I don't think there was any character in the movie where it's like, ooh, geez, the acting on this one,
Right.
Oh God, this character's back again. Like,
everyone was powerful, and everything was just.
Yeah. It was really good.
For Doctor Strange, for example, anytime he goes back to the real world to his doctor girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Like, it was just like, oh God, can we just have you be Magic Guy now? Like,
it felt like it slowed it down.
That's the other thing too. There's never a moment in the movie where you're just like, oh fuck, B plot.
Yeah.
Like any of the secondary plots or whatever. Like nothing feels.
That's
like
to be honest, that's kind of what was going on with the CIA agent. Is that he was kind of...
you know what? God, I almost forgot it. He's like, oh my God, he was in there. Yeah. I'd say he is obviously the most like hammed in, shoehorned in. Like his character does serve purpose, and we discussed this a bit before.
Right. Yeah.
His character does serve purpose to get the story moving in some directions, and
he does provide a moment of showing character development for an
arc.
Not for him, but for
But the movie definitely wouldn't have been much different if he was.
No, not at all. But he wasn't weak. He wasn't like, oh, this guy's shitty acting. Like,
would you call him, Matt? You call him the audience. You said
he is like audience. Because so much of this movie is about Wakanda, and it's technically a political movie. Like a lot of what happens in this film is an ideology difference happening between one person and another. And I don't want to get into spoilers, but a lot of it is political, so a lot of it's Wakandans talking to like other Wakandans and discussing things. So you don't have any audience member, you don't have any character that represents like, I've never been here before, so I need you to explain to me what's going on type of thing.
You need the tourist.
At that point, that character is the audience, is the tourist, and gets explained a few things. And
that kind of need to be explained.
Sort of.
They had, because of where the movie goes. Like, you couldn't do it without having an explanation there somewhere, and there was no good reason to explain it unless you had like a tourist character.
Right.
But he's not a weak link, Like I didn't sit there and be like, oh fuck.
Bilbo did fine.
Yeah, Bilbo did fine. When you say weak, you wouldn't put him in there. But as far as the weakest character out of the whole cast,
well, I mean, he doesn't have the strongest plot.
Well, exactly. He doesn't.
But it's like he didn't bring the movie down in any way. There wasn't.
No, exactly.
It wasn't. There are movies you see where you're just kind of like. they're cut away from a fight or cut away from a dramatic moment to like the other. What's going on in this part of me?
Yeah, like
meanwhile, in the whole of all the Legion of Heroes,
in this movie, when you go to another actor, another person, you're like, yeah, this person's cool.
Yeah.
Oh man, I like her. I like like the warrior. Then this and like all these characters that are in this movie really shine.
Yeah, it's
really,
great to see characters talk to each other in this movie.
Yeah,
it's nice, and that's what I'm actually in for with a lot of like comic book movies. I realize now I don't really want to see him. I don't want to see him fucking just fight. This
because it's been done in every Marvel. There's giant.
Especially the Civil War fight. I don't remember. I barely remember dick squat about the airport battle in Civil War or why it happened.
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you why it would lead up to that. But what I can tell you is that Tony found out that this motherfucker just killed his parents.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna. Now we have a character that has motivation. That's what I remember. That's why I remember. Bucky and Cap beating the shit out of Iron Man, being really fucking like crazy because man, Tony just found out that this guy murdered his family. Like holy shit! Yeah. So there's clearly a desire for me to like. I just want to see characters interact with each other.
Oh yeah, especially at this point in time.
That makes it.
And I didn't think going in that I was gonna watch Black Panther and be like, I'm gonna be enamored with the characters talking to each other.
No, not at all.
But
not at all.
You thought you were gonna mostly get action sequences in this movie, and I guess we'll start off with spoilers. There's not a super huge amount of action sequences in the film,
but it's a movie that doesn't need it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the idea. I'm not saying, and that's actually not a negative. Because my favorite things were the characters talking to the other characters, and sure, there is action moments, but most of the action moments are actually of T'Challa. Not the Black Panther in costume, like tackling things. In fact, the Black Panther in costume doesn't have a ton of screen time in the movie.
Yeah. And what I said before is that it feels like T'Challa actually has more fight scenes than the Black Panther does.
Sometimes it feels like you're seeing, just T'Challa fight more than the other guy. Yep. So moving into spoilers, I'll just get right into the meat of things. We don't want it to get too long. We'll just each go over the things that are spoilers. If not, or you feel heavily about the movie.
I never freeze.
I really like the aspect of the humor. I liked more things than I disliked about this movie, but the last ending sequences and motivations kind of like dropped me off the cliff. Like there's a moment where the new guy takes leadership and he wants everyone to follow his leadership because he's going to make Wakanda a superpower and known to the world. And this is the giant thing that's carried through the movie, whether or not Wakanda should be known to the world. But it's never felt like it's really important. And then suddenly, at the end of the movie, Benny just snuck in here. Suddenly, at the end of the movie, when this new guy is brought in, everyone's motivations are drastically shifted. Yeah. And Wakandans are willing to kill other Wakandans for the belief that we are going to send our technology to Hong Kong to get some six spears. And it was like, you're kind of losing me here. Like, you guys want to stab each other in the face.
They're doing it to disrupt the world.
Yeah,
like the idea is to start weaponizing people around the world to bring down other world
get the
governments.
premise. It's like, they were literally doing was shipping spears
that can blow up tanks.
To different parts of the world. If it was something different, like we need to establish that we're a superpower, Wakanda has always identified that this place is a threat. We're going to blow it up.
Yeah.
Like if it was something like that, if it was something severe that's going to disrupt the natural world order.
But what we were talking about is that it's the character's arc that he does this in this type of fashion. Like he always infiltrates and
the main bad guy.
He destabilizes. Yeah, that's how he does. He doesn't go for cataclysmic annihilation.
I think maybe they were trying to avoid another end of the world scenario. Too many. That's other movies' faults. Where it's like they're trying to avoid the whole we gotta avoid the world blowing up.
Something's gonna blow up in the end. I get it. It was technically a political disagreement that led into a skirmish that made it. Where they really try to make it feel like a war.
Yeah.
Like that happened. Because you gotta have a war at the end of our movie.
Honestly, it was a skirmish, if you really think about it.
Yeah, things just feel like they escalate really quickly.
It was like a small riot.
And I don't think it makes the movie bad. It's just that there's like this sequence of events that builds up to it. It kind of lost me in the end.
Yeah. Same with me in certain aspects. I mentioned this before, of the characters, of me predicting something like, let's say, the caveman tribe,
the gorilla tribe.
Yeah, the gorilla tribe showing up at the end. I just saw that stuff coming. Once again, it doesn't detract me from the whole movie. The whole movie
it just pulled you out.
It pulled me out for a second, and it irks me.
Because because of the thing too, Steve. I guess he likes movies and he thinks like
I want to be
not
surprised.
too much. Yeah, he wants to be surprised.
I want to be surprised.
And Steve is the guy, like, and it's not bad anyway because that's what he likes watching movies. It's like, oh my god, why didn't these guys pull out guns and why didn't these guys shoot instead of doing karate? This is not dedicated to the movie. But Steve really thinks about movies and really thinks it. And,
I just put myself in the perspective of
the movies.
That's it.
Yeah. There's a moment when you're watching film, and it's for me especially when you're watching a movie. If the movie is convincing enough with its characters, its music, its visuals, and everything to keep you engrossed, you forget that you're in a theater and you're just in this adventure the whole way.
Oh my!
And God. there is moments in this movie where you pop out and you're like, I'm in a theater watching a movie, and now I'm thinking about what I just saw.
Yeah.
And that happened a couple of times.
And oh my god, the visuals in this movie was fantastic.
Really
Everything looked fucking. There were some points you guys said that the CGI looked kind of funny and stuff like that. But
there's some poor CGI.
There's some questionable
man,
CGI
dude, the set pieces, the costumes, the characters,
man.
fucking.
This doesn't win an Oscar, man. It's gonna be tough.
For
costume design.
Was,
I don't think it deserves visual effects awards, but I do think that in terms of costume design, there's some
costume and some sets.
In terms of like set design and shit, I think there's some really cool stuff.
We talked about it in the part that didn't get released, like the other gorilla tribes. Like, man, what are they going to be like? They're going to just live in caves and all this kind of stuff because they didn't have as much access to the technology.
Look at that,
and then when you see their setup, you're like, damn, man, I want to live here too.
I like everything with like the hierarchy, like at the top is just super fucking cool. Yeah, everything we have is just super fucking cool.
It is great. And
each tribe had their own unique style that makes me want to know what's going on with that
more
tribe.
About Wakanda and everything.
That's what good art design does.
Yeah, it is very intriguing in that aspect. Now, as far as characters are concerned, like you said, your favorite was the two girls. My favorite was Michael B. Jordan. High five. We're doing that again. He basically knocked it out of the park throughout the entire movie.
It's a great
and towards the end, where he was on the cliff and stuff. I actually found myself tearing up. And the reason for that is because I could really sympathize with the character because he was the type of character that has been angry his entire life. And I've known personal friends of mine when I grew up that were just like that. They were always angry, and I felt that kind of connection again. And I really felt for the character. And it's very difficult to sympathize with a character in a superhero comic book movie. In this fashion, but when it comes to this movie, they did a very good job
because of his circumstances.
Yes, and even the same with me. Like when my father died, I was very angry, and you could see that in the character. And why is that? Because why is that being brought up? Is because Michael B. Jordan brings that out in the character himself, which is really well done, and that's
a really
rare.
Good job.
Very rare.
There's a moment, between him and his dad were in spoiler territory that happens near the end of the movie that's really hard. It's really hard to watch. The performance of the dad and everything is like, man, how can you not? This scene is here because you are going to sympathize with our
right. Exactly. I mean, it's like okay, put this here.
Yeah,
it's like it
does a very good job.
And I hate it when they try to force it, but this one was just done well.
Feel forced. Well, it didn't feel forced because they shared the exact same moment that T'Challa had with his dad.
Yeah.
And it seems to be like that personal journey is you meeting your father because obviously the main characters' dads are really important in this film.
Right.
And the mistakes they make. Right? Oh, shit! Please don't. Oh, God! Mendoza!
Please!
All right.
There we go.
Come on.
We're back! Fast! Kenny, spoilers, feelings.
My favorite thing about this movie is the arc and the two different things, man. I could really get down with the father. I really like how they went in the beginning and you see the father and you're like, wait, what is this? Holy cow. And it makes sense. It's like he came to outside of the United States and saw his people struggling and saw this stuff and became militarized, but I wouldn't even say it's in a bad way. He's like, man, in Wakanda we live so amazing, and my people out here are getting killed and all that, and he feels the struggle because he went from this place to like it's almost like if he was like a god, right? Because then there's a immortal person, and he goes to the mortal world and he sees all these people suffering, and his brother's like, we have to keep this secret, and it was phenomenal. Like the story of the two brothers, the story now of their cousins. I loved it. It was phenomenal. And there were some bad things about it, but I just want to give my favorite part of the movie is those things.
They're unfortunately now, at the end of all things, with the end of this movie, just opening themselves up to get targeted by a big space laser. They should have stayed hidden.
I mean, what was your guys? I mean, we didn't even touch on this, but what was your guys' favorite part of the movie?
My favorite personal part was the casino chase sequence. Believe it or not, it was actually an action sequence. Usually my action sequences aren't like my number one, but the stuff the general chick did and the
I was literally gonna say that. You took my part.
Yeah,
Fuck,
man,
there's some
I don't
great
know.
Damn it, man.
The general,
General
fighting.
did cooler things than Black Panther.
Yeah, I mean, which is kind of crazy because you don't expect it.
Yeah, like
that's one thing I didn't expect is that a side character actually did more cool stuff
than T'Challa.
Than the main character.
And the thing is, I think the whole casino and the chase after the casino were all like collectively like my favorite part because it has kind of funny, cool moments with the characters going in. Mm-hmm. It has the general being a badass all the way through.
It's got the bad guy being a great bad guy.
And it has fucking Andy Serkis just being this crazy
over the top comical bad guy.
Crazy motherfucker, which I fucking loved. You know, just like the simple act of how he walks through the metal detector and is just like, whatever, I'm gonna fuck. Kind of
they know him. That's why.
He kisses the Korean lady on the cheek.
They know him.
They know him. Just like, oh my god, I love this song. The only things, like spoilery, like the only nitpicky things, a couple of like questionable CG shots. I really still don't understand why T'Challa's dad did what he did to set in motion.
Right.
Like, I completely understand Michael B. Jordan, like Killmonger or whatever his character's name was. I completely understand why he did that. Why? I don't feel I got a great enough justification for why he did that.
T'Challa's dad never gets a proper explanation.
I don't believe. I feel it must be like I was given a proper reasoning as to why he did that. Man, that makes you look like a real piece of shit. Doesn't bring the movie down for me in any way, shape, or form. And in spoiler territory, really dumb idea to get rid of Claw.
Yeah. What was your favorite part?
I mean, we covered the
chase scene.
The chase scene. I mean, they also matched or married the comedy parts of it really well. I'm gonna call it the part specifically where the general's car gets destroyed.
Yeah.
And she just like Abin Children style like grabs the spear and you're like, what is she gonna do? Gets the part of like the door that's still on the ground and like just like surfs on it. And then she like stops like a badass and then like the steering wheel is like Mario Kart.
I think the humor.
It was action and humor mixed really well.
Yeah. I think the part right before that was the best part is where they do the build where she's literally sitting there criticizing. Look at these guys.
They're just like looking at these guys.
Look how primitive these guns are. And in my brain, I'm like, what the fuck is primitive about a gun? What can you do? And she gets up with a fucking spear, gets on the top of the car, goes boom like that, and the car explodes and this shit. And goes flipping.
Through the window.
And you're like, holy shit, dude. And you can just see and it kind of explains the power of the vibranium and what it can do.
I'm going to interject really quick, not to talk shit about Star Wars, but to totally talk shit about Star Wars. The general in this movie is everything Captain Phasma should have been.
Got it!
We can pile on there.
I hate to say it.
Two Disney movies here. This is how you do social commentary right? Jedi.
But Michael B. Jordan is a fucking 10 times better version of Kylo Ren. A conflicted, very upset youth who had a very traumatic experience. Not the same traumatic experience, but a very traumatic experience growing up. It set him on this very conflicted pathway, to becoming a ruler. But I'm sorry, Michael B. Jordan.
Crazy. Like almost
better written and better acting.
These characters had an arc in some way, shape, or form. Even some of like the regular soldiers and stuff like that, like you said, the gatekeepers and whatnot, they even had an arc. Like the general, Panther,
the Rhinoceros tribe guy, or whatever.
Border tribe,
the trade,
I mean, and the main villain, they all had.
And that arc is supplemented by one of the main themes of the film going through that you realize towards the end of the movie that one of the biggest themes is upholding tradition, or changing or doing something different because maybe that tradition isn't right nowadays, and we have to actually change things. And it's the compromise, and that's what Black Panther has to realize in the end is the compromise.
That's what I liked so much. If there was one thing I could take away the most, that's also delves in the spoiler territory. It's when Michael B. Jordan's character comes into power, becomes the king. Everyone I saw some of your complaints about like it happened too suddenly. Why are these people fighting each other? He had the more radical ideas for everything.
More extreme.
But at the same time, he brought to light this he cast a light on the shadow of that. One, Wakanda's history isn't perfect. Their latest king had just committed this murdered their brother and left this kid there. But at the same
T'Challa.
time, they're seeing the suffering of their people beyond Wakanda's borders. Like, we're not doing anything with all our power, all our technology. And here comes Michael J. Fox, like, do you not understand what's going out there? Like, you guys have been so good here, but like, you're not lifting a finger to help anyone. I see that as like the motive, like the kind of the tipping point for some of the people. Like, hey, like he's right. Like, we should be doing some stuff like that. I think they just all get caught up in it.
The motivation makes perfect sense. It was for me personally, my drop off was the portrayal of that motivation. There was never like an extreme going on with like two sides of Wakanda.
Well, like you said, it wasn't really explained that well. It was there.
It was there. It just didn't seem like characters would talk about it like in banter, but it didn't seem like an ideology on fighting.
The physical conflict part, that escalated too quickly there.
They hint at it with the leader of the border tribe.
Yeah,
sure.
Throughout the movie, they build up that.
It was actually
and the girlfriend. Yeah,
the girlfriend
she was out there.
She was the most
hinted at, but it's not like all of a sudden if something crazy happened and some new guys turn power, would you be willing to stab each other in the face?
That was never.
I think ultimately
maybe not.
Your problem is that you're not going to end a fucking Marvel comic book superhero movie on a political debate between two characters.
And that's ultimately it.
You need to have people fucking fighting.
It's a political movie, and its ending sequence is we got to have a war sequence.
Right. Yeah,
we got to have a battle sequence.
They're doing this because of these reasons. Are they super? Super solid?
And I kind of wish it was a bit more of a personal fight between T'Challa and the main bad guy, because all the other stuff felt like this seems a little extreme that they're
especially when they're fellow tribes.
Yeah, and we actually got T'Challa in the other. I just wish it focused on that. Like we needed to have our 3-act last sequence where the sister is fighting this guy, and then T'Challa is fighting that guy, but T'Challa's fighting a rhino, but then this guy's fighting. It was like, okay, guys.
Yeah. I definitely agree, because there was no reason for them to side with was it Warmonger? Killmonger.
It seemed all within the same fucking day.
Yeah, especially
within the hours,
because he sped things up real fast. As soon as he got there, he was like, he's only been there a day. It's like,
we're gonna send some guns to China. Here we go.
And they were like, no, we gotta set up. They were like, we gotta set up the challenge fight within weeks. And he's like, within weeks? No, we're doing that right away.
It's kind of the only sort of weak part of the world building is that we don't really understand how their basically how their I guess you could say, monarchy works.
Cameron.
Oh, God.
All right.
Oh, God. All right, here we go.
All right.
We're locking.
Yes. There we go. Okay, yeah, come on, let's go.
It's the only kind of weak part. We don't understand how their monarchy actually functions.
Yeah.
Because it seems to be complete, absolute rule of law from the king. I mean, he's called king.
Yeah.
But it's like, it kind of seems like there's no discussion or discourse. If the king wants something fucking done,
you know what?
Something just I guess
there's no Senate.
Which kind of confused me for a second, because he overthrew tradition. He actually, like, when T'Challa came back and says, "Hey, I'm still alive, and I didn't give up, so we're gonna do this again." He was like, "No, I'm the king. I did it all. That it's over."
Yeah, but when he says, "I never yield," well, here's the part, and I think this is ultimately where the real laser focus point of I think where Mac's problem might be a little bit is that he says, "I never yielded."
Yeah, I never yielded. I never gave up.
So at that point, all tribes should have been, "He never yielded. We are going to wait and hear this out."
Yeah, that's tradition.
But the fucking border tribe decided, "Fuck it."
Yeah.
We're gonna fuck. Well, you know what? Fuck tradition. Let's kill each other.
Right, and that's where it kind of went.
And the border tribe never felt like hostile.
Exactly, they were never against anybody.
It was like probably the lowest point of the movie for me. Was
the only time he felt like he was going to betray was when he found out that T'Challa didn't actually capture.
Yes,
he didn't capture.
Yeah, and there is
build-up.
He's like,
I'll kill you
man,
because of it.
He's like, man, I'm really disappointed in you.
Right,
and it's like, well, I get it. Yeah, T'Challa as king wants to make everybody wants to be the good guy. He really get that, but I didn't get
you can't believe you didn't capture him. I didn't
get the idea that
betray you because
I would murder you.
Yeah, I would betray you because of that.
It's like you're off to a bad start, King.
That's what I try harder. So that's what I mean. It's like the build up to the discourse at the end of the movie isn't really like all of a sudden we're all gonna fight.
Right.
And like I said, it doesn't make the movie bad.
Right.
It doesn't. And I still really like the movie, but. I'd say 3/4 of the movie, I was like, this is my favorite Marvel movie.
Yeah.
And then at the end, it was like, oh,
Yeah,
man, really? It's still really good, but I just kind of dropped me off the cliff.
Yeah.
Like the Border Tribe just fell in real hard and real fast with Michael B. Jordan.
Yep.
If they were suffering in some way, maybe.
Yeah, but they weren't suffering.
But they weren't.
They weren't suffering. They agreed with him. Maybe they agreed with him politically, but man, did they go into like, I will kill my fellow countrymen.
We'll stab you with spears.
From this complete outsider who's been here a day.
He was hitting his homie. Was hitting Michael B. Jordan, or not Michael. He was hitting T'Challa.
Well, yeah, everyone was beating the fuck out of T'Challa.
Yeah, because they were instructed to kill him.
Yeah.
Well, I guess.
I mean, but you have to understand too.
They really just fell in line with that guy.
But
real
the same
hard.
thing with the general. The general had a confliction because she also was loyal to him as well.
But then she has a character change.
But we
She has a
saw
character
that confliction. We saw her come to terms with it.
So maybe
argue about
you
it.
could say
and, then,
it's-
and she is still upholding tradition in that last fight.
Yeah, it's true. You could say
She's the one going like, hey,
he's just loyal to the king. And
He's
that's it.
right. You didn't finish your fight. He did not yield. You are not actually king, technically.
Yeah.
This fight is not over.
So when the Border Tribe rushes, like their job to protect the challengers.
You don't get that thing and stuff like that. But that was that one part.
Right.
I mean,
which it didn't bother. I don't think
bring it in before.
I don't think it bothered me.
Before we lose it.
I don't think it bothered me as much as it bothered
Yeah.
like some
Look,
of you.
yeah.
I was totally
There's
fine.
so many priceless fucking moments in here that
This
is
movie
complete.
is
It's really good.
phenomenal.
Yeah,
I think just to boil it in, I think all of us really liked
Yeah.
it.
I really liked
It's still not my personal favorite like standalone
Top
Marvel
three,
movie.
top five.
I definitely would
Top
probably
three.
put it into top 3 maybe.
It's up there. I haven't seen Winter
Soldier is still my
so-
favorite.
Yeah.
so I can't comment.
Iron Man 1 for me is still my favorite. So
Days of Future.
Not Avengers.
Okay, I'm a Days of Future Past guy, but that's not technically
Space Ghost.
Disney Marvel.
Once
Yeah.
again, an amazing example of characters just talking to each other.
Guardians of the Galaxy
right,
1.
right.
Yeah,
And then
Guardians like
this is like almost 2. Like
here's the thing. I don't know where I rank them. Actually,
Yeah, it's hard to really.
I know
Yeah.
that Days
Well-
of Future Past is probably in Logan are like some of my absolute favorites.
Well, I mean,
as far as
Marvel,
Disney
Logan,
Marvel
Disney
goes,
Marvel, yeah.
it's this and Black Panther and Iron Man 1
It's funny.
pretty great.
I think Logan is
Yeah,
possibly
about
like the best movie. Like you said,
Yeah.
I think it's a great movie, but it's like watching Schindler's List.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't want to watch it.
very dark.
It's amazing.
But it is
I don't want to watch it
Because
again.
then you have someone like Professor X and you see him like
I don't want to see Professor X
like,
die.
No,
again.
You
man.
can't go through that
And then
again.
I don't want to go
Yeah.
through it again.
It
I'm
is
glad I
tough.
did it, and goddamn that ending.
was-
I felt many things, but
Yeah.
I just don't.
100%. 100%. This is the movie I'd like. I'm gonna watch it again.
Black Panther, I
I'm
wanna
gonna go
watch
see
again.
this
It's fun.
next week or something like that, or a couple days. I'm
The
gonna go watch this
characters,
again.
the characters talking to each other is great.
It's definitely
Yeah.
probably like this movie, Guardians, and Iron Man 1. It just to
Yeah.
fall fucking in line with all. God,
Mhm.
those are like the best three, and I would maybe Winter Soldier if I saw it. But
Yeah, I put Winter Soldier and Guardians 1 in this. And Black Panther.
Yeah.
Those are-
Yeah, I might be with
And
you.
Iron Man. Say Iron Man.
Iron Man is in
Iron
my
Man's so
top
good. It's like a given.
3 out of 4 people.
Yeah, what? Yeah, all right, good.
It works
All
out.
right, yeah.
Okay,
Put him in there. Put him in there.
here's the
All
thing.
right.
This film is, I would say it's better than Iron Man because I feel there's actually some really good, heartfelt messaging in this
Ooh,
film.
there you go.
And there's important, relevant discussion that this film brings out.
Yeah, sure.
That Iron Man doesn't. So I consider this
Yeah.
film on like an art scale. I think it's a little higher than most, if not all, of Disney Marvel.
Yeah. And
Because
one thing,
it truly has something important to
Yeah.
say and something that needs to be said.
I gotta say that it's bold for a Disney movie too, because
Dude.
of the message and all
Yeah.
that stuff. I'm like,
Not
dang,
to mention the
man.
Yeah,
messaging.
that,
Because
there are
it
lines in
was-
this movie that were not going to be said if it
Yeah.
wasn't written by
Yeah.
Ryan Coogler.
Dude, because it was bold, and I was like, dang, Disney.
I'm glad it's a
Bravo,
mainstream
right?
movie.
Yeah, it's
I'm
a
glad
mainstream movie
media-
because,
not
like,
even
yo,
mainstream people have to watch this.
because this, like,
it's pretty edgy too.
yeah,
Like
it's edgy, man.
the
but,
part
like,
where he like teases the cop guy and he runs away and he shoots him in the back. I was like, ooh, that's fucking.
Yeah.
that
But
made
even
me really
that- yeah, for
interested in
Disney,
the guy.
yeah,
Disney,
but, yeah.
but there's no blood.
Technically,
blood.
like,
Yeah.
I'll say, I think
Yeah.
that some of the humor even came at the expense of like white culture was pretty
Yeah.
good. They're like, deal with it. They're like,
Yeah.
deal with it a little bit.
And it was funny, and everybody was laughing.
laughing.
Yeah, Simmons was
Yeah, I
cracking
thought it
up.
was hilarious.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
But
But the whole story, like the sub story of Killmonger too, I was like, man, that is. He's like, they're not pulling any punches.
Well,
man.
the
He's
thing
like,
with
my
the
people
CIA
have been
agent is-
oppressed.
I mean,
I'm gonna go out there
Even,
and
you can even say the thing with the CIA agent was like kind of like a statement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was a token white guy. He literally
Yeah.
was. So
Yeah,
the whole
but
point
even
of
that-
it was
I
kind of
like
like
that. I kind of like that
Yeah.
they had it though. It was
Yeah,
like-
it was good.
He was the audience character. I mean,
Yeah.
ultimately, I
Yeah.
didn't think he was bad. The one thing I will say that was shocking about this movie, but it wasn't handled too well. This is the first Marvel Cinematic Universe movie with a full on-screen throat slit.
Oh,
But you know what? Funny,
there
I
was
didn't
no
actually see
gore.
her. Yeah, I didn't see any blood. I didn't see,
It was there was
I just saw them drop.
it was a full straight medium shot of a character's throat getting cut and them falling, and then a next shot of them on the ground falling to the ground. But not unfortunately, but there was no gore at all.
Yeah.
The weird thing, it was almost like them just
that's
acting
the
it out.
line Marvel will not cross.
Yeah,
they don't show gore.
it seemed a little extreme. Like they were
what's
really.
funny? That wasn't impactful, but the general's reaction was more impactful than that.
Yeah,
Well, that's the idea.
Fucking lost it.
She was so
and that's why the
distraught
general's
over
so
that.
great because
It was very impactful.
Because it was a jobber character.
Yeah, it was a jobber. It was a jobber, but obviously you can see how much she cared
but it's like,
for the others.
Wow, she really cares about the fact that he just
Even with Forrest Whitaker's death, spoilers. His death was very impactful because you see the reaction of everybody around it. Sure. They were freaking out.
That's where I was starting to lose my sympathy a bit for Michael B. Jordan.
Mm. Oh, because you hated him after that, right?
Well, because he's just like, fuck, I'll kill you too. I'll kill both of you. I'm like, okay, you are the monster.
He's the killmonger.
Yeah, he's the killmonger. Yeah.
You really are the monster.
He mongs the kills.
Yeah, he kills
like
his girlfriend.
It's almost like disappointment. Like, fuck, you aren't redeemable, are you?
Yeah, but that's the good thing. That's the good thing about the villain.
Like,
man.
there's really no coming back from this, is there?
Yeah, you are. Yeah, ultimately, you can sympathize with where he's coming from.
No, he did not.
Yeah.
Here's what makes him a great villain. You can sympathize with where he's coming from, which makes him a good villain, but he's evil.
Yeah.
Still a bad guy.
He's still a bad guy.
At the end of the day, he's still a bad guy.
I wanted him to come back I wanted him to be alive too, but then he's like, I'm going to like a boss. And for some line that might have been too much, but here, camera. Oh my God, we got to end it. We got to end it.
End it, Kenny.
Oh my God.
But
go ahead, Kenny. We're still
that
recording.
line
Please,
We're
please.
good.
would have been
All right,
a
we're
little
good.
too strong. Might be a little too strong for Max, and he didn't like Simmons. Kind of really liked it.
The last part of the movie just felt a little hammy.
There you go.
Yeah.
I always, it's kind of
that
just like,
line, man.
I think it's
for
kind of
Disney
just
too.
whatever. Like, yeah, the
Bold.
last line.
Yeah.
I mean, can we
like,
say it?
bury me in the
Spoiler
water.
territory?
Yeah, we're way in spoiler
Like I
territory.
said,
So
like I
his
said, the
last line of
was
"bury me in
not
the
necessary.
bury me in the water," because just like my ancestors who jumped off the boat, because better to die free than live in bondage.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, that's such a good line.
I mean,
I loved it,
Damn.
and I loved
Yeah,
it.
I felt it was forced. Once again,
I don't know,
like Max
that's
said,
his character.
We had a
Yes,
big
but-
discussion about it, but
Yeah,
me and
before.
Steve ultimately felt that that's already been conveyed.
Yeah,
Like,
you already
it
felt
felt
like
a
how
little
they
redundant.
were going
but
through.
fucked it. I loved it, and I loved it.
And it showed
it's
that
like
he's like,
historical too, because I'm like, history's, because for me it's like history's so important. Like, fucking remember this.
and it showed that he stayed to his character to the very end, until he
Yeah.
died.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what? Like, you could have been like, you know what, maybe, brother, but no, it was just
He,
like,
like,
fuck, no,
The
bro.
line doesn't feel
good.
right. It only feels like it has a purpose because he says "bury me at sea" and then he explains
Explains
why.
why, yeah.
And I think that's part. Whatever. I love the line. I love the context behind the line. I love the history of it.
Powerful.
Personally,
but I get
personally,
it.
it felt a little
it's not gonna work for everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it won't work for everyone.
Yeah.
It won't
It's
work for
just-
some
It's
people.
where you
though.
are emotionally.
It was
Sure.
like I
guess.
think there was so many things at the end. Like we just once again discussed this a bunch before. It won't go too long.
Yeah.
The last fight goes on in this subway tunnel thing like a bit too much, and then the last death scene with the main bad guy lingers a bit too long, where he has to carry him up and just go him down to the medical bay.
And I can give you that too.
And it's like why didn't the fight just end on the cliff,
Yeah.
so that he can look on Wakanda? And he's got this cheesy it's beautiful, and it is all the whole hamminess of it was starting to get to me at that point. It would also bug me. Their makeup was perfect. They were just the biggest fight of their lives, and they looked like they just got prepped. And I was like, man, why don't they look?
Definitely was that.
Why do they look so beautiful right now?
It was a suit. It was a suit.
Yeah, I guess it was a
That
suit.
Black
The suit
Panther
makes them
suit.
not sweat.
Yeah.
They
Don't
just,
crack.
like I said,
Yeah.
Black
it
don't
was
crack.
Yeah.
it was everything that was building up to the last thing. All felt a little like I was like but it didn't ruin it.
Yeah. It didn't ruin the whole story at all.
Nothing-
Oh, none of this stuff ruins.
It was
the
just a
movie.
section.
Yeah,
It's just a
nothing
section.
in the movie ruined the movie in any way, shape, or form. I say,
Yeah.
go see
Yeah.
it. I'm like, it's
Phenomenal.
I am
phenomenal.
It's
like I said
9
before,
out of
I am a
10
little
kind of
disappointed
movie.
that I did not
Yeah.
get a chance to see the Panther God. I
Yeah,
wish
I
I would
didn't see
actually
Panther
been
God.
actually see the Panther God in some way, shape, or form. I think the way that they did the arc where the two characters actually saw their fathers and stuff like
Awesome.
that was really
I loved
good.
it.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than what was it in Justice League where you go into some futuristic thing and it kind of throws away the story and shit like that.
Those are two powerful movies.
But
You're talking about the holodeck.
yeah, the holodeck shit like that, and it goes in the future and shit like that, and it just throws you off. but this one actually still fits with the story.
Yeah,
You
because
understand?
the characters actually feel like they're humans.
Right,
Yeah,
it
of
actually
course.
goes with the story, you know what I mean? And even though it
so
kind of
good.
slows things down, you get why it's needed, and it's supposed to be there.
It's really funny because they have like fucking like 6 or 7 moments in the
Justice League.
Justice League, Batman
BVS,
vs. Superman, and
BVS,
Man of Steel.
And
Yeah.
I
He
don't
has
remember
like
any
5.
of them.
You don't remember
He has like
any of them,
5 moments where he visits his dad.
And it feels like it's not necessary.
None of them are nearly as impactful
And they all
as the
suck.
as the Oakland flashback.
Yeah, the
especially.
Oakland flashback.
None of them seem to have the impact of the Black
So
Panther,
good.
same version of the same thing.
So I thought it was really good. Isn't my favorite Marvel movie, but it's definitely worth seeing.
It's
And,
up there,
top
if not.
Top 3.
It's really good.
It's up there, if not my favorite. It's outside of some of the X.
I don't know if it made me specifically like Black Panther a whole bunch, but it made me really like Wakanda.
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest. As a character, I don't like Black Panther and his design. As a character, I don't.
You don't like
it.
Kitty Cat Batman?
No, I do not like Kitty Cat Batman. I don't. And I'm gonna be honest. I don't like Static Shock. I don't like Black Thunder. I don't like those characters. I like. Do
you like Spawn?
I love Spawn. I love Blue Marvel. I like Icon. Just because you're a black character doesn't mean that you automatically have to like him because you're black. Some characters don't resonate well with me just because of the character's arc itself. But this movie made the character more impactful than I've ever thought the character could be, just because of the storytelling.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, because of the
just a good
storytelling that
fucking
built
movie.
up the character as a whole.
More reasons,
Fucking fantastic.
Marvel and Disney for you to give more writers a chance.
Yeah.
Well, some.
And please,
Not-
Directors
not
slash
Star
writers.
Wars. Not Star Wars guy.
Oh,
That was it. This director/writer. Not always, Max.
Marvel's different than Disney.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
We can't talk about
No,
it.
he's absolutely. Kenny's absolutely.
Yeah, they
right.
did it right.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, Disney's like, hey, here you go, Rain, do it.
We cannot. We have to end it here.
But
There it is.
Oh, I really want them to make Wakanda a Diniwa.
Yes.
Yes.
I want that.
I want a Diniwa Wakanda
Right next to Pandora. Fucking Wakanda.
Like we said, why not have the general have her own story arc? Like
Yeah,
they do
add that too.
Yeah,
also,
have her-
any ideas you have for Black Widow movie? Fuck it.
Yeah.
Make it about
Scrap
it.
it.
Put in the fucking
Thinking about that.
No more.
I really
What's
hope-
about the general?
Wouldn't it be
Because,
cool if she
she's so
had?
boring,
Wouldn't it
Black
be cool
Widow's
if
so
she had her own story arc, and then they also focused on the other
Come on.
tribes members
She
as
would
well?
make
Yes.
the
Because the other
most
tribes members,
amazing,
the fucking warriors and shit,
the
they're
most
really cool.
amazing counter James Bond movie.
Yeah, I believe
With,
so.
with the general going out and doing like a spy mission. With,
I believe so.
With,
I believe so.
Black Panthers. With
I just hope she
it'd
gets
be good.
that she gets a decent amount of screen time and
Yep.
stuff to do in Infinity
Oh,
War.
yeah,
Infinity War,
yeah.
So,
We'll see what
there you go. Go see it, guys.
That's it.
That's it. Good night.
All right. No more crashing.